Good morning. My name is Jose Alvarez Garcia, and today I'm going to talk to you about my project management plan in regards of my project, which is a smart home. First of all, what is the objective of this project? Well, as the name says or suggests, it consists in making a regular home into a smart home. But what's a smart home? Well, it means that with an application, with an app in your phone, in your computer, from everywhere in the world in which you have access to internet, you can control every part of your home, be it logs, be it your cat food, be it dog food, the AC, check the temperature, check anything and control everything, which is for me the future. The scope statement. Oh, the key accomplishment and milestones are to design or get the blueprints for the devices, be it we design it or we get it from the internet because there's a lot of places where we can get it. Buy the necessary materials considering the budget, which is of 3K dollars, US dollars, not Canadian or Australian. The third accomplishment or milestone is to write a code for each device, followed by assemble all the devices with their programs, and all the devices are linked to the app and working. And obviously, to end it all, is to deliver the devices. Now, the requirements set by the client are that the devices must be as small as possible to occupy the less space possible and for the app to be compatible to both Android and iOS systems. Um, if you don't know about this, the iOS systems consist the Apple ones, the iPhone, the iPad, those stuff that are made by Apple, and Android are everything else. Before there was also Windows Phone, but it died. So today is just Android and iOS system. Now, the skeleton, the spine of this project, the stakeholders, the team. First of all, with me, the CEO, Jose Carlos Garcia, at your service. The second one, very important, the shareholder, which supply the funds, is Jacob Rothschild, which is a very rich man. The third one is Roberto Quijada, senior developer. What does developer mean? The developer is the person who programs the devices and writes the code in, in any language like Java, C, C++, C Sharp, um, Python. You get the twist. Fourth, Mar Sanchez, which is the storage head who does the inventory and get the supplies, the materials, everything for the assembly, that kind of stuff. Fifth, very important, Derek Zoolander, which is the head of public relations, not the Republic, sorry. He takes care of meetings with the client and other people at the project, public relations. Sixth, Catherine Elizabeth Halsey, or Dr. Halsey for some people, which is the head developer engineer. She oversees the design and programming the devices, also the assembly of the devices. Uh, and seventh, James Moriarty, who is the assistant to the manager. He takes care of the not so important stuff. And eighth, and to finish it all, is Hansel McDonald, who is the creative head. He brings fresh ideas to the project, and we all conform this project. Now, the WBS, that consists the work breading structure. It consists of five parts. The first one, which is design, to identify the work area. In this case, the home of the client, who is Johnny Mentero, and design the blueprints for the devices. or get them from the internet. The second part is the material, which are measure what is needed and put it on a list, buy the materials and test the materials. The third part is the programming of the devices. Choose the app that will act as a link for the devices, choose the program for the devices, and to make the code. And the fourth part of the project is the assembly of the devices. Because okay, we have the to say the Arduino. Well, the circuit is all done, but we can't deliver it like that, right? We need to put it in a case or in a something to be presentable. So what do? We buy some plastic cases to make, for example, a box which can contain the circuit, and that will be the full device, right? So just so you get the idea, analyze the previously acquired blueprints, follow the construction plans, organize the materials, program the devices, and test the devices with the app. Of course, we need to get the app, fully link it to the device, right? Because you can control it without the app, as I said before. The delivery and the review, which is the fifth and last part of the project, which consists of prepare the product, present the product, review the product, and the approval of the client, Johnny Montero. Now the schedule. Sorry, and the smart home. Mm, as you can see, it consists of 4 weeks. Well, a bit less than 4 weeks, but let's say 4 weeks. We get all the WBS in the lab, and as you can see, some activities can be done in one day, so it don't take a lot of time. And because it's illegal and not morally correct, uh, the workers take off Sunday and Saturday. It's not right, right? They take the weekend off. Now the budget. Well, you can pause the video if you want, but I'll be quick about it. This will take a lot of time. Uh, in the left part are the activity, and the right part are what it's about. For example, resource type, the staff, what the staff is going to do, which activity is going to be done by each part of the staff. Like identify work area and take measures for analyzation is the assistant to the manager, which is Moriarty. To design the blueprints is the head developer, Halsey, who is also going to be doing the checking of the blueprints and put at least what is needed. The storage head, which is Mar, is going to research where you could buy each thing for the lowest price and highest quality. She'll also be the materials because she's also taking care of the money, right? Halsey is also going to test the materials because she's very experienced in this. The senior developer, which is Roberto, is going to choose the app for the project, choose the programs, develop the code, and program the devices. Of course, all this is going to be supervised by Halsey, which is the head of the developer team. Um, who's going who's going to prepare the project for the session? It will be the assistant to the manager, Moriarty, and who's going to deliver the product and receive feedback from the user, also Moriarty. Obviously, we can't expect for all the staff to do this for free. So what do? We pay them, of course. And at the right part, you can see the amount of days they're going to take for each activity to be done. And right, that's right, is going to be the total amount that they're going to be charging for these activities, which is very human, very nice. Remember, this is not pesos, this is dollars, US dollars. For example, um the senior developer for the developing of the code is going to take $1,000. Let's say the dollar is at 20 pesos, which is not, it's like at 16. Well, I got a calculator here. Say, $1,000, which is 16 pesos, is 16,000 pesos. Very human, so don't. It's nothing to be concerned about. The the yes. Now the materials or equipment. Of course, we're gonna be needing a flexometer, which is for measurements, various iPads, three laptops, uh, obviously the materials, which are sensor, plastics, the assembled materials, screws, all that stuff, the app licenses, the programs licenses, if we don't have them already, the cartons, the package material, all that stuff. Did you hear that thunder? Very nice. Let's keep going. The infrastructure and technology. Only the building, which is very cheap. Well, relatively because it's in dollars, so you get the gist. And for other stuff, there is only cleaning food because someone has to clean the building, right? And we're also busy. 4 weeks for the project. We can do it, but it's going to be tight. And someone has to clean, so we'll be hiring a cleaning person. And we need food, brain food. All that will be $1,100. And here we have it again, but more smaller so you can see better. The total for the project budget would be 14,543. It's all we in paper are going to have to spend. Obviously, there can be some some situations that can arise that's going to need for us to spend some money. But on paper, it's that amount. The staff budget is 5,900. The material budget is $5,793. All this is in dollars, right? And yeah, that's it. So, and remember, we have a budget of $30,000. So we're doing pretty good. Even if we burn all the sensors various times, we still have enough budget. Thanks to Jacob, of course, which is the shareholder who provides the money. Now, the project responsible chart. Um, as I explained earlier, you can see that here the responsible people, the accountable, the consult, and who are you going to inform, right? So, for the first part of the project, it's going to be James Moriarty, the assistant to the manager, which is me, the manager, who's going to design the blueprints or get them and check what is going to be needed in those blueprints, right? Which is going to be Halsey, Dr. Halsey, sorry, to buy the materials and check everything. Is going to be Mar. Halsey is going to test them. Roberto is going to do all the program stuff, supervised by Halsey, as you can see there. Um, sorry, a second to drink water. I'm back again. So, the testing of the device will be done by James Moriarty, the assistant. He's a regular person. He's no engineer or developer. So he's the perfect person for this activity because you expect the client to be a normal person and to do normal person stuff. And he'll be using the devices as a normal person will, right? Who's going to deliver it and prepare it for presentation and receive the feedback? Well, of course, it will be the head of public relations, Derek Zulander. And of course, he's going to inform to me. You can pause the video if you want to check it more clearly, but surely this is it. The risk plan. Very few things can happen that can be considered risks, so don't worry. But if they happen, which is there's a very little probability, is this a security breach in the app or program, which again, we're going to get the best app and the best programs with very high very high encryption codes, so there's nothing to worry. There can also be possible malfunctioning of certain devices, which is why, as I said before, we're getting the best high quality materials for this project. Um, yeah, but that's mostly it. Now, to close, I need to answer some questions. Do I think that English is important for my working life? Yes. Why? Because, well, it's the second most spoken language in the world, just second to Mandarin Chinese. So, yes, it's very important. And I'm in Mexico, which is, that's raining, which is very near, well, it's pegado to the United States, USA, and all the, sorry, am I recording? I, sorry, I know. Sorry. Yeah, it's very important. So, uh, all the all the companies are mostly English spoken. The oh, for my career, for my major, the places I can go to, the companies, you need to 100% be able to speak English because if you can't, uh, there's very little companies who can take you if you don't. So it's very important because you need to communicate with people from all around the world, be it China, Germany, Japan. I have a brother who is a electronics engineer, and everyone speaking English. They every Monday they get these big meetings with all the staff from all the company or their area, uh, and they all speak English because it's the most spoken English throughout all the world. Mandarin is only spoken in China mostly, so yes, very important. What could you apply from this subject in your work life or in your student life? Well, well, I already answered the question, so yes, in my student life, um, I could. Well, for my student life, I use the English. This subject. Sorry, this subject. Well, it's very important because it gives me the chance to learn how to code, how to manage things, which in the work is going to be very important. Let's say, for example, I'm a team leader. I need to manage people. I need to manage the projects. So this is very, very helpful, right? And for my student life, exactly the same. I have projects for every subject, so it's completely important. Now, do you think your project can be something really viable? No. Why? Because in the long term, there can be some losses because we are going to have to sell this really, really high. It's going to be expensive, and not all people can afford this. Who can take this project? It will be the big companies like Amazon, Google, all those big ones. Why? Because they don't like money. They have all the licenses for the apps. They own the apps. They make the apps. They make the languages for the codes. They do everything. and they have all that in them. So it's very cheap for them to make it all. That's why you see that Amazon has everything, right? The Amazon's choice. They do lanterns, they do pants, they do computers, they do everything. That's and it's more cheap for them and for us. So they do it. And for Google, for example, they they own a lot of businesses, YouTube, everything. They have it all. So yeah, it's not something really viable. This project for a small project people like us. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. And that's all, folks. Thanks for everything, and I hope you liked it. Bye.